Welcome back to the Spiked and Psyched podcast. This is episode 11. I'm your host, Val Constein, Nike athlete, Olympian.
And I'm Kyle, the current local snow removal expert at my household because it just snowed.
It's true. It did. It's kind of actually snowed a lot today. This is the first big snow in Boulder.
Yeah, I mean, it pretty much hasn't snowed all year besides like a light dusting, and then it's probably snowed at least like 6 or 7 inches, which is good. We need the snow, we need the precipitation, but doesn't mean I have to be happy about it.
Yeah, I am not a huge snow fan either because usually that means training on a treadmill or exclusively on the indoor track. And it's kind of hard to believe because last week I, did a workout on the outdoor track and now probably won't be able to use the outdoor track until the end of February.
Yep. And I'm just not a big fan of winter anymore. And people might be like, Kyle, why do you live in Boulder, Colorado? It's like, well, Boulder is cool like 80% of the time. But during the winter, I'm not a huge fan. It's because where I went to college was super fucking cold during the winter. And yeah, I just feel like I got enough winter for a lifetime, especially because it was super cold in Gunnison, Colorado during the winter. And we were constantly running outside. So it wasn't like nowadays, like I don't have to go outside really that much besides maybe to like shovel or get groceries or go to the gym. But yeah, now I do. Or now I used to have to go out. Yeah. And now I don't really, I can do whatever I want, but so it's less impact, but I still don't like the cold.
Kyle has like the craziest winter running clothes. He has like the hood that goes over like your nose and mouth and covers your ears and goes down to your neck.
Yeah, I didn't wear that stuff like too much. We definitely had it, but yeah, I mean, yeah. Ran outside in the cold a lot, so you had to have the right gear.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a big wimp. I don't really like to run outside if it's cold at all. So I ran on the treadmill this morning.
Yeah, but that's changed a lot. Because a few years ago, you hated running on the treadmill, and now you like running on the treadmill.
I guess it's Stockholm Syndrome.
That's fair.
Well, I like it. I don't know. I mean, I feel like it was a maturity thing. I feel like when you're young, just like staring at a wall and being patient is hard. But then as you get older, you're like, oh, it's only for an hour.
It was like 2 years ago. You would like complain about going and running on the treadmill.
That's true. But also having one at the house is super, super nice.
I know.
Because the act of like when I had to go into the university park, go into the weight room,
I get that.
The bathroom wasn't in the same area, so I had to if I had to go to the bathroom, I either had to go up a level or down a level and into like a different part of the school. And so it was kind of a hassle. And I had to pay for parking, like all these things that...
It was just because you fucking didn't want to run the treadmill.
It's true. I mean,
no,
honestly...
I'm just kidding.
Honestly,
but
now,
you are like... It is a big difference between where you were at a couple years ago from like your perspective on the treadmill. Like now you like really don't mind it. But before you're like... I think, it was like you didn't want to run on the treadmill and it was a little bit more difficult.
It was a little bit more difficult.
But it was mostly because you didn't want to run the treadmill.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. I really had an aversion to it. But, I mean, now I honestly really like it. Like, even if I'm feeling beat up or something, I'll just run on the treadmill because I feel like I can recover better.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, we tried to run on the treadmill when we were allowed to for, like, doubles and stuff, and it was always like, thank God.
You don't have to be in the winter wasteland.
Yeah. So... Yeah, I get it. But like when you first start running on the treadmill, it sucks.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely something that you have to build a tolerance to.
Yeah.
Like the first couple times you do it, just like, oh my gosh, like I've only been on here for 3 minutes. What?
Yeah. Well, that's the biggest problem with the treadmill is when you're not used to it, it can feel like it's just taking forever. And like the biggest treadmill hack, and most of people listening probably know this, but is just put something over all the numbers so you can't see how like, your perception of how slowly time is moving is not really relevant because you can't see it, or how slowly like the miles or Ks are clicking by. So just cover that shit up.
I'm a psycho. I love to look at it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Autistic.
No. I truly love it. Like, even if I'm doing long runs and stuff, I never cover it up. I want to know what's going on.
Control freak.
Yeah.
And a touch of the tism.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I've always liked it. Like I remember when I first started, I had to train on the Alter G in college for a period of time because I was injured. And I remember that was like my first time ever really running on a treadmill for a long period of time.
Yeah.
And so when I was doing that, I would cover up the thing. But then after that, like even when I was doing long runs and stuff on the treadmill, a couple of years ago, I wouldn't cover anything up. I wanted to know. I wanted to know exactly how far in I was so that I could know exactly how long I had until I could get off. But
Yeah. I couldn't do it.
I know, even now, like when you run on the treadmill here at the house, I noticed that you will put a rag.
God.
Kyle's just riling up the cat.
I'm not riling him up. He's just attacking me.
Kyle's riling up
I'm trying to keep him from touching the cords. Anyways, all right, keep going.
Even if Kyle like wants to do like an easy run on the treadmill in the house, I'll see you put like a rag over top of it. Even if it's just like a 4-mile easy run, Kyle doesn't want to look at it.
Yeah, no, I just think it's easier. I think most people would agree with that. That's
so crazy because for me, if I was to cover it up, it would give me so much anxiety to be like, I need to know.
Maybe that's a type A runner girl thing. Now I'm kind of curious. Let's crowdsource the feedback. Do you guys like seeing the mileage, or do you like covering it up? I know covering it up is a very common thing.
I know
a
it's
lot
very
of
common
people do.
Too. Yeah.
And if you don't do it and you feel like running on the treadmill takes forever, try doing that. It'll help. But I think you're in the minority here.
If you're super type A and a control freak like me, you're going to want to know exactly where you are at all times.
Fair enough.
So, anyways, we have a cool new thing on our set.
Yeah. So when we were creating the podcast setup, we needed something over in the corner, and we've talked about this before, but we bought like this like live ficus, and it looked sick. It was like this sick plant.
Yeah, it looks really good.
But also on the flip side of that coin, it was actually a sick plant.
Yeah, it
had some sort of disease.
Yeah.
And it slowly just started dying. And if you look in some of so this is a new ficus, but it's fake.
It's a fake ficus.
It's a fake ficus.
It's a
and
faux
it rips.
ficus.
It rips. It looks perfect.
It does look good.
It'll never I do think I like the look of the old one a little bit better.
Oh yeah. The live ficus definitely looked better, but this one
will never die. Yeah. So but the older one just got like diseased and fucked up and eventually perished a sad, painful death.
We thought it was coming
over
back.
Months. Yeah, we did. Well, no, like there was like 2 leaves left, and they stayed on for quite a while, and then like
they both dropped.
And then in like 2 days, all of a sudden, like one of them started wilting, and then they were both gone. And then the next thing you know, it was just like a trunk of the ficus plant. Like pretty hilarious. Maybe we should have just kept it for the solidarity of it all.
I don't know. It was honestly pretty depressing. Like once it started dying, and apparently ficuses are super temperamental, and so it's actually very common that wherever it came from, and then when it ended up in Costco, it was sad.
Yeah.
Because of that transition, and then moving here was just like, it was still sad. And so then it just died. So very depressing. I was super bummed. I was desperately trying to save it.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out if we were like need to water it more, or need to be in the more light, and then like pretty much nothing we did worked. And maybe it was because we were changing too much stuff, but there was no signs of improvement. There was only like a temporary pause. It was just clinging on to life before it ultimately perished.
Yeah.
The new fake ficus made its debut in our last episode with the great and powerful Taylor P.V. Tuttle.
Yeah. It's a cool episode. If you haven't heard that one, you should check it out.
Yeah. So our second podcast with a guest.
I know. Yeah, we're doing it, Kyle.
Cruising along. We're at episode 11. We made it to episode 11.
Pretty big.
It's crazy.
So episode 11, we didn't do updates in episode 10, so maybe now would be a good point to do some brief updates.
Yeah, I mean the guest pods are kind of like obviously again they're going to be different than pods that we do together. So yeah, we can give an update. Yeah, you should do like what's been new recently with you, and then maybe like a little bit of like the workout of the week.
So what's been new recently? I've kind of gotten back into some really high quality training. We can talk about it a little bit later, but I got sick at the beginning of November
Hmm.
and I had this really weird side effect of the sickness that we can kind of go into more details of. And unfortunately, I couldn't really do anything for like 2 weeks. And so these past 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I've been just getting back into training. And last Friday, I actually did a really great workout. I did 4 by mile,
Hmm.
and it was kind of my first like faster than threshold workout that I had done in over a month. And I did 4 by mile and I ran like between 5:25 and 5:30 for all four of the repeats. And so I was pretty happy with that. And I've also been sitting in the sauna a lot
Yep.
too, which has been super nice. I feel like I don't know, I feel like it's just a good thing to do. They say that it can help increase your blood plasma, and I think it's good for your immune system, it's good for your
Yeah.
cardiovascular system.
Feels good too. I don't know. Every time I get in the sauna, it was just like, yeah, it feels good.
Totally. Yeah, I think there's a ton of benefits. And so I've been doing that for like 90 minutes to 2 hours a week. And
Yeah, but you've
so,
been doing them at like 30-minute clips, which is not easy.
yeah,
If
30 minute
if the
clips.
sauna's hot enough.
It's a pretty hot sauna. And
Yeah,
so,
totally.
yeah, the 30 minutes is definitely a challenge.
Yeah, if it's like over 200 degrees, 30 minutes feels like. Well, once you get to 20 minutes, it's like difficult.
The sauna, I think, is closer to like 185. I think the temperature gauge is wrong because the temperature gauge at the rec center says that it's 195, but I don't believe it.
I don't know. It's pretty hot.
Maybe.
I think it's pretty hot.
But anyways, it's been really cool.
Hot,
So,
hot, hot. All right,
and
good.
and I asked ChatGPT, I was like, so sitting in the sauna, like my heart rate's elevated. So what type of aerobic benefit am I getting from sitting in the sauna? And it said that if I sit in the sauna for 30 minutes, that it would be equivalent to jogging for 2 miles.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It's hard.
Yeah,
Like
does
it.
your heart pound when you're in there?
No, I just feel like for me, I just start getting to a point where it's like, man, this just feels like super, super uncomfortable.
Because my heart starts pounding, like it starts beating, like it gets up to like 120 beats per minute.
I mean, I guess mine probably does. I mean, that would make sense.
Do you ever feel it when you're getting super uncomfortable, your heart pounding?
Just feel like I'm gonna like pass out or something, mostly. So maybe it's just a little bit of combination of everything.
Maybe.
Yeah, but no, the sauna rips. I wish I could do it more.
If you
I
lifted in the
I
morning.
could do it more,
Yeah, one of the things,
but
one of Kyle's updates could be one of the reasons why he's not getting to bed super early is because why?
well, me, me and some buddies have found a new video game called Arc Raiders. It's fun as shit.
Yeah, all the kids are playing it these days.
Yeah, it's a really popular game right now. It's like an extraction shooter. So you like load into a world, you try to get a bunch of shit, and then you try to leave without dying. It's really fun. We've been having an absolute blast. It's super addictive though.
Kyle
Yeah,
stays
we've
up till
been
like 2 in the
no, no, no,
morning.
no, no, no. That's an exaggeration.
You
Val doesn't
do.
no, no. That happened like one time.
No, not one time. It's happened multiple times because
It's happened a few times. It's happened a few times. But you also
I get
are
up to
very
go pee
dramatic.
at like 2 a.m. almost every night, 3 a.m. almost every night.
No, no. You don't even know what time it is. You're like walking around like a zombie.
And Kyle's playing video games when I get up to go pee.
What that happens like it's happened like twice. Val likes to do this thing where if something happens twice out of like many times, but it happens only like a couple times, then it's like, oh, it was every time. Not every time. But we have been hitting that game hard. It's been pretty fun. Val most nights Val goes to sleep at like 9, so we hop on for a few hours.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been fucking sick.
And the
So
other thing that Kyle's gotten into,
yeah, so yeah, I guess I don't have a workout of the week, but I used to play soccer when I was younger. I was really, really big into soccer. Like my dream was to be like a professional soccer player. Um and I played through like early on in high school and then I switched over to running. But uh anyways, after I graduated college, I've wanted to play like rec soccer for like years, and I've told you about this, but I just have never really had like a good opportunity because you need like a whole team, and most of my friends are like runners, so most people don't like play soccer or necessarily interested in soccer. Like all of my like old soccer buddies played in high school, right? Or before that or whatever. So I don't keep in touch with those guys. Anyways, so one of my good friends hit me up and he's like, "Hey, we're gonna play indoor soccer in like a rec league." And I didn't even know this was Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know Nelson played soccer. And I was like, "Hell yeah!" Like I definitely would be down. So yeah, we had our first game, but we like started the season. We actually took over because I guess getting into Boulder indoor soccer is difficult because it's like really busy. A lot of people want to like be in the rec leagues there. So we're playing indoor soccer, Boulder indoor soccer. But we got in like halfway through the existing season because apparently like the employee team didn't have enough people and they weren't consistent enough, so they like opened up the slot, and I guess Nelson was on the waiting list or something. And yeah, so anyways, played our first game last Friday.
Got smoked.
Okay, hold on.
I went and I watched. It was really fun to watch.
Yeah, we had some friends go. That was cool. Yeah, so yeah, we lost 14-8. I did score 2 goals. That was good. I was proud of that, but I got hit in the face with a soccer ball, and I chipped my tooth like halfway through the game.
It was his front tooth.
Yeah, I've chipped it there before, but yeah, the ball. Someone kicked the ball at the goal. We were playing some defense, and yeah, I think it hit me in like the lower part of my jaw, so kind of like uppercutted my ass, and my bottom teeth slammed into my top teeth, and I chipped my tooth a little bit.
It wasn't super noticeable from afar, but
Well, it wasn't super noticeable because it like chipped on the front of the tooth.
yeah.
So it didn't like chip out of like a chunk where if you're looking straight at it, you could see it very well. It was like only if you were looking like down at it, you could see that like the surface had been like a little bit like chipped. I mean, it was chipped kind of a lot, but not like, yeah, only if you were like super looking for it would you notice it.
And I obviously
Val just stares at me all the time, so
I noticed it.
she really didn't like it, but
Well, I wanted him to get it fixed. Kyle
she doesn't like her ugly fiance with a chipped tooth.
No, I just wanted him to get it fixed because
And like her ugly ass bitch at. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
Yes,
you fixed it today.
I just got it fixed today, but I've had it repaired before, so we'll see if I mean it's chipped a little bit differently before.
The first time you chipped it eating pasta.
Yep.
I was
Yeah.
with you.
Yep, that fucking sucked.
He
That was like the dumbest shit ever. I like bit a fork.
yeah.
Yeah, the dentist actually said that. He's like, yeah, a lot of people chip their teeth by like when they're eating on like a fork. I'm like, no. Yeah. So anyways, yeah. So I chipped my tooth, but it's all good. I don't know. When I was younger and I chipped my tooth in the same spot, like when I was in college, like when you were there,
Yeah.
I was like really insecure about chipping my tooth because I was like, oh, fucking looks like shit. And I know now I'm older. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like I shared more that you wanted me to fix it and to make sure like I don't want to have problems with my teeth because it can be one really expensive, like
Yeah.
from a dental work perspective, but two also like I think having nice teeth is like,
It's nice.
yeah, having poor teeth doesn't look good. Yeah. Anyways, so that was kind of funny. I was perfectly fine otherwise, besides a chipped tooth, which is kind of funny because it happened literally in the first game. It didn't happen in like the third game or the fourth game. It happened in the first half of the first game. So, anyways, but it was really fun. I definitely need to start running more because felt like my heart was going to explode a few times.
Well, because you were sprinting up and down the field.
Yeah.
And most of the running that you do, or at least most of the cardio that we do together is like, we'll do like a 6 mile run at like 9 minute pace.
Well, it's not that slow. It's probably like 8 minute pace. But
That's how
yeah.
slow we ran this weekend.
Well, that was because we were both, I can't remember when that was, but yeah, we were both like really, because you'd done like double
Workout.
T, yeah, like the day before, and you were really tired, and I was really tired from soccer. So that's a little bit, yeah. I mean, maybe that one day, but most of the time we're probably running faster.
Like 8:30 pace.
Or 8, yeah, whatever. But yeah, it was, like when you're younger, because I played soccer for forever. Just, I guess, I don't know, you just don't realize like how physical that shit is. So yeah, it was really good workout. Like I was working way harder than I thought.
Yeah.
So anyways, but yeah, it's fun. It's fun to be playing soccer again. I love soccer. And I've missed playing it. So yeah, I'm glad I'm doing that. We have our next game in a couple days.
Yeah.
Hopefully we don't get fucked up this time. But we don't have a full team. We don't have like a full consistent team yet. So that'll once we
I don't know. I feel like your reserve players were pretty good. That one girl,
well, but that was just like some random person that like hopped on our team.
she was really good.
No, I know. I tried to tell her that she should play with us every week, and she was like, every team needs girls, so can't commit. She was like an employee there.
She's really good at
No, yeah,
soccer.
she was really good. Yeah, she was really good.
You should try to
But the
figure out.
MVP was our boy Phil
Yeah,
in goal.
Goalie Phil.
It was actually
It was
sick.
surprising.
My boy Philip.
He did great.
He did fucking great. He's got bad hips too. Couldn't tell.
I know.
Absolute tank in the goal.
He did a
It
great
was
job.
crazy. Yeah.
He put his
MVP
body on the line in some of those plays.
many a times. He did fucking awesome.
He did. He did really well.
It was fucking awesome. So yeah, no, it was really fun. Stuff like that, I think is great because it's just like a good excuse to get back into something that you used to do a lot.
It's all about having fun. It's all about trying to find things that make you happy.
Yeah.
Instead
Yeah,
of
totally.
playing soccer
And
on
also
the
just like
TV.
not that serious, you know? Like, I mean, like you want to win and everything, and I'm super competitive. It wasn't necessarily fun losing 14-8, but it was fun to like go get back out there and yeah, just like mix it up. Just like another form to like work out too, you know? Like,
And to run a little bit more.
yeah, no, it was a great workout, but it was also just like really fun. But it was definitely harder than I thought it was
Good.
gonna be. I just like I don't know, like I don't know what I expected, but I was
Did you
like,
think it was going to be easy?
no, I didn't think it was gonna be easy, but I just forgot how like
Soccer's hard.
yeah, I know. I just forgot how like aerobically demanding, like sprinting up and down. And I was so fucking sore the next day too.
Yeah.
I felt like a cripple. Like my back was sore. Like the front of my shins were sore from like the muscles in the front of your shins. Like everything was sore. It was crazy. But luckily I didn't pull any muscles or anything, so that was good. One of our other friends, we thought he tore his fucking Achilles.
Oh, yeah. Well, he raced a 5K the morning before. And
Yep.
then he played soccer. And yeah, I saw him exit the field and I was like, oh gosh.
Yeah,
He's
Gibson.
messed up. But then he ended up being okay.
Yeah, but it looked like the way, yeah. I've seen too many like professional football players in the NFL like just like be running and then like
Seize up.
rip their Achilles or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was like that's like what it reminded me of, but he was fine. He just said he just pulled his calf. But
Kind of my biggest fear of you playing the rec league soccer is that you'll get too competitive and you'll like injure yourself. But I want you to keep playing it because I know it's fun and I like to
It's fun.
watch. But
can't
there's always
live
risks.
life on the sidelines.
It's true. It's true. I should know that too.
Life moves pretty fast. If you don't look around and enjoy it sometimes, you might miss it or whatever the fuck the quote is.
I don't think Kyle got the quote right.
Whatever, dude.
Okay.
Shout out Ferris Bueller.
Next topic.
What's the next topic besides my riveting sport endeavors?
Yes, Kyle is quite the athlete, but I was thinking we
Not
could
really.
talk briefly about some of the other athletes. In episode 10, we did talk a little bit about NCAAs.
Yep.
Cross country, but I was thinking that we could maybe go into, just kind of a brief overview of our thoughts of the D1 cross country championships that happened last weekend or 2 weekends ago.
Yeah. I mean, so do you want to talk about the men's or the women's first?
Either. Whichever one is on the top of your mind.
Well, you go first.
Okay. I would rather talk about the women's race first.
Shocking.
Yeah, because I love women's running.
Okay, go ahead.
Anyways, what a fight between Doris and Jane.
Yep.
Crazy battle.
Crazy.
It was super interesting from the gun. I mean, I think that obviously, like in the last K, like we really saw Doris, just kind of flex her dominance.
Yep.
She just had an extra gear, and Jane was fading towards the end. But it is super, super impressive that a true freshman was, going toe to toe with a woman who finished 5th in a world championships just a couple months prior. And so that's very impressive. And so I'm very curious to see what Jane can do on the track in the 10K and the 5K.
Yeah, I kind of feel like if you would have run that race, and maybe people would disagree with me, but I kind of felt like if you would have rerun the race, like say 10 times, I don't think Doris would have won every time. I think Jane could have beat her.
Yep.
Because like we watched because BYU and CU are in the Big 12 together. And I kind of felt like Jane didn't quite run like she ran all of her other races. She didn't quite like look as confident. I mean, that could have been like a number of things, maybe, running regionals the week before, running a hard 6K, because I mean, she dominated regionals, and then coming back to nationals was really hard. But yeah, to me, it didn't quite look like she had the confidence. Maybe again, that's like just like totally like objective feeling of it, was that like it just felt like the whole time Doris was kind of like controlling the race, and like Jane all year has just been smoking people.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, maybe she was like a little bit tired, didn't feel good, which I think maybe she even said she didn't feel good. But yeah, I mean, I thought Jane was gonna win.
Me too.
I just the way she ran all of her races.
But the moment she, like at 3K, when she did not go to the front and start hammering.
Well, I think she just like stayed with Doris.
She did. That's exactly what she did. She ran behind Doris for the last 2K.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like she was kind of running off the shoulder of her.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if she was feeling more confident, she would have been kind of like, not even giving her a step.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't know. I think Jane could have won. I don't know. No, I don't know if I necessarily, and people might disagree with me, but I don't know if I necessarily buy into, like, I don't think Doris is like way out of Jane's league. I think that you run the race again. I think maybe Jane, and maybe on a different day, I think Jane could have won.
Agree.
Yeah, I mean, for her being a true freshman, I mean, yeah, hopefully she just stays healthy, and yeah, we'll see what she does. I mean, because in track and indoors, yeah, I mean, I imagine she's going to run insanely fast.
I would think so too. But
we're going to get to see the two of them race for
years.
Flip. How old is Doris? She's got at least one more year, I think.
I think she has at least one more year left.
She might be a senior. I don't know. But it would be cool to see a rematch.
I agree.
Of the two. I also think that when you run a certain way where you just like dominate races, I mean, you have to think like, oh, it gets in your head when
someone's with you.
When someone's with you, yeah. You don't have that same confidence. Like you don't feel like when you're not going to win, right? Like you can get in your head, your form can start breaking down, whatever. And I mean, they still ran insanely fast. They both ran under Jane's old course record, and the conditions weren't as good when Jane ran her course record. So there's probably even more technical time in that, but
totally. And then we obviously have to talk about NC State winning the team title.
Yep.
That was pretty cool. They had,
dominated.
They had 6 women who were All-Americans. That's really awesome.
I don't know if it was 6 or it was 5. I think
it was 6.
I don't think so. I think Angelina Napoleon was their 5th, and she was 40th, which was the last All-American spot.
Still, though, very impressive.
No, for sure. They dominated.
Yeah.
They dominated.
They're
super good. I'm not saying 100% right. I think Sadie Englehart, their like phenom freshman, was their 6th runner.
which is awesome. I mean,
Or maybe, anyway, I don't know.
Sadie
I'll look it
Englehart
up.
did great. It's really cool. I mean, obviously, we got to watch her these last couple of years do so well in the high school races. And obviously, Sadie was racing professional races as a high schooler. And so to see her, competing in the NCAA is really cool. So that was awesome. BYU getting second, I think, is super impressive. They obviously have a really, really good team. Their team has looked great all year. CU women actually did great. They were, what, 17th?
The women? The
Yeah.
CU women? No, they were 13th.
Oh, they were 13th. Sorry. They were 13th at nationals. Sorry, I forgot.
They were 13th, which I think their rank was 17th.
That's what it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
they were ranked 17th and they finished 13th. And they did really well. I mean, I think that all of the women probably wish they would have run faster, but to be honest, I think that they did great for, where things were this year and how many new faces there are on the team. I mean, I can say from experience, like, doing threshold training is really hard your first year. And it can be really difficult to see your true potential your first year doing threshold. I mean, this year we saw Abby Nicknecki. She ran amazing this year. Really, really well. Was our top runner in, almost every single race in the postseason. And so I think that the training is finally starting to click for her. And I think a lot of these other women, it's just going to take one more year and then they're going to have the training click as well. All right. You should move on to the men's race.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
I looked it up because we were getting it wrong. So Angelina Napoleon was their fourth. So NC State had 4 in their top, in all American spots. So Angelina Napoleon was their fourth. So I was wrong. Sadie Englehart on NC State was their 5th runner.
Oh, okay.
Puts into perspective how good you guys were when you guys won.
I think it was just
6 people in the top 30, which is insane.
I think it's just a different world. Like when I was on the team, I think there were less international athletes competing. I think there were a lot more Americans. And so I just think that the landscape has changed a little bit. I mean, not to take away from what we did was really amazing.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's different, but I'm just saying at the time, pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Insanely impressive. Anyways, yeah, no. CU women, they didn't even qualify for the meet last year, right?
Nope.
Yeah. So CU women are trending in the right direction, which is awesome. And then the men got CU men in the men's race got a 10th overall,
which is pretty good. I mean, I think that they on a perfect day probably could have been 7th. I think would have been really good. Top 5 would have been really hard, but I think that 7th would have been. But there was like a couple guys who had off days. And if your top 3 guys all have an off day, it's going to be really hard to do well in the NCAA. And that's kind of what happened. So, but 2 of those guys, Isaiah and Dom, they're actually both going to be racing at Boston at an indoor meet this coming weekend.
Yep. Yeah,
the very
first 5K, right?
Yeah, no. Dom, I think, is racing a 5K. Yeah. I think Isaiah is racing a 3K.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so the CU men were ranked 7th going into NCAAs, and they got 10th.
And they had been running really well.
Yeah, they had run good all season. Year. And unfortunately, sometimes I think it just happens. You have a bad day.
Yep. And a 10K.
For a few people, not like everyone had a bad day, but they had an off day as a team.
Yep.
But the interesting thing about where they finished is the difference between finishing 10th was 318 points, and the difference between finishing 7th had 303 points. So you can make an argument that any one of the guys who had an off day, if they just kind of like ran to where they would have been like probably 7th.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's good to know that at least they were like, I mean, obviously, they finished 10th, but they were very, like, I think 7th from a points perspective was very attainable.
Yes.
And I actually think they could have even done better than 7th if they had like an incredible day. Because they had shown really, really promising signs all year. But again, same story on the men's side for the CU team. from where they were last year to where they are now is massive, massive improvement.
I agree. And so I can't wait to see how, and I think that it's tough for guys because a 10K is very different from a 6K, where in a 6K you can have a lot of 1500 specific women do really well in a 6K, but I think it can be more difficult for men who are better at the 1500 to really pop off in a 10K. And I don't want to sound like I'm making excuses, but I do think the men have it harder because they have to race the 10K.
Yeah, I also don't understand. This is something that's better about D2 than D1. I will never understand why the NCAA in D1 chooses to run regionals 1 week before nationals.
Yeah.
It's the dumbest thing ever.
Yep.
You don't have to do that. No one's forcing them to do it. Just put it 2 weeks apart. And now I get it. It doesn't necessarily change anything. That's the way it's always been.
It would probably make a difference for some people though, because racing 2 10Ks in 2 weeks, I'm sure is hard.
I mean, racing 2 6Ks in a week is tough. So, I mean, yeah, for the men having to run a different distance, run a different distance, and then, hey, Rocket, stop. Rocket, hey, stop.
Okay. Anyways.
Hold on. What was I saying? We can just cut that.
Okay. I think it's very difficult for anyone to have to race really hard a week apart, and that's what everyone in D1 is doing from regionals to nationals.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily like you can make the argument however you want that, everyone deals with it, whatever. I agree. But I'm just saying it's like a self-induced, like making things more difficult.
Yeah.
If you're trying to say, hey, we want all the best people to show up and crush it at NCAAs, don't make them run
a week before.
And like you can make the argument that like Jane Hendegren never raced like a hard 6K. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I doubt she raced any time during the season. She raced 1 week after. So, it could, she's the first time that she's ever done that in the NCAA. So she maybe would be like, oh, okay, next year, maybe I'm going to run it a little bit easier. Right? Yeah. Like it's just all that stuff. But if you gave her 2 weeks, not to say that you couldn't run really hard and it couldn't affect you 2 weeks later, but more likely than not, if you give people a 2 week break, it's going to eliminate stuff like that. So like no one has an excuse not to show up at their best. And I get it. Like you could always create an excuse, but anyways, I'll get off my tree stump. I just think that's stupid. I think I've never understood it. D2 doesn't do it that way. I always wondered, like when we started dating, why you guys raced 1 week right after. It's just, I don't know. It's dumb. It's
definitely a very difficult thing that anyone in D1 has to get over if they want to race, at nationals. Speaking of cross country.
Yeah, speaking of cross country, we've got next week
this weekend.
Sorry, my bad. This weekend, this Saturday, is US Cross.
Yeah. And, I want to say that I am not racing US Cross, which is very sad because I was very much looking forward to it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know. You were super excited about it. Val had been talking about doing US Cross since the summer when you raced at USA's on the track. It was something you've been really looking forward to. So it is a huge bummer, obviously. I mean, it's not that big of a bummer in some ways, but it is a big bummer because cross doesn't like come around that much. But yeah, why aren't you running cross?
Yeah, so kind of what I alluded to at the beginning of the podcast was, so at the beginning of November, I got sick with some kind of viral issue, like maybe a cold, maybe a flu. I'm not really sure, but I wasn't really that sick. Like I had a headache, I had some body aches.
That was probably the weirdest part.
Yeah.
Is you weren't really sick. Like from like it, if you go up and tell someone, hey, I'm sick, they'd expect like, oh, what do you have? A cough, like a sore throat, maybe a fever, a headache, right? Like common colds, whatever sort of symptoms.
And the only symptoms that I really had was a headache, some minor body aches and fevers, but only at night.
Yeah, which is also weird too, because well, I guess that happens,
But I didn't have a cough, I didn't have a runny nose, I didn't have a sore throat, none of that stuff, just kind of a headache and some fevers at night. And I was honestly starting to feel better. Like I felt like I had reached the peak and I was starting to get a little bit better. And then one of the side effects of this viral infection that I had was that my knees and ankles got really swollen.
it was mostly your knees though.
Yes, mostly the knees. And that was kind of scary because the last time my knees had been that swollen was after double knee surgery.
Yeah, and they were noticeably swollen. It wasn't like, oh, my knees feel swollen. It was like you could tell they looked huge.
And I couldn't walk.
Yeah, that was a really weird thing.
And I couldn't ride the stationary bike.
You were walking around like a cripple, which was
Yep.
like, this seems insane.
And I wanted, like, if I could have run, I would have, but I physically could not have done that.
Well, you couldn't bend your legs.
I couldn't even, I tried the stationary bike because I was like, oh, maybe I can cross train. I couldn't even bend my knee enough to do a rotation on the stationary bike.
Yeah, it was super bizarre.
And this happened for like a week.
Yeah, it was one of those things where it was like kind of making me think that it was like, geez, this seems like super bizarre. You know, it was like one of those things where it's like, because I think it first started, one of your knees was like started to swell first. Which one was it?
It was my right knee.
Yeah, you're like, oh, my right knee's a little swollen. And I'm like, that's weird. Like, did you do something to it? Did something pop? Because like, you kind of always think, like, especially after you had like a, traumatic like ACL injury like you did, just makes you wonder like, oh, okay, your knee's swelling. Makes you wonder if you damaged it again in some way. And that was at least the good thing, was like, you're like, no, nothing happened. So it was like comforting, but also like not comforting at the same time, because you couldn't place anything, like you couldn't put a finger on it, like, why is your knee swelling up? And then it was kind of good, I guess, in the sense that your right knee started swelling and then your left knee started swelling like the day later.
Yeah.
So I don't know, you go.
And I knew that it wasn't like a traumatic thing because when I did blow up my ACL, immediately it became swollen. And the swelling was kind of peaked at like 12 to 24 hours. And then after that point, it started to go down. But with this swelling, it was like slowly getting worse.
Yeah.
And over the course of 3 days, it was like bad, then the worst, and then like the absolute peak worst.
Yeah.
And then on the fourth day, it kind of didn't keep getting worse. It kind of stayed the same. And then by the 5th day, it started to go down. And the 6th day, it started to go down, and so on. But we actually went to urgent care because I thought I had a bacterial infection.
Well, that's the interesting part. So that I think is an interesting part of the story. You should tell like how that happened.
Oh, yeah. So
because it wasn't really expected.
So I was kind of trying to explain this weird thing that was happening to the doctor that I communicate with about like all my stuff. And I texted him and I was like, yeah, I don't really know what's going on. My knees are swollen. And he was like, okay, well, just give it until Monday. And this was like on Wednesday. He was like, just give it until Monday to see like if the swelling goes down, because he originally thought, oh, this could just be like a weird viral thing.
Yeah, that's what he said.
That's what he said at the beginning. And I was like, okay, that's super weird, but okay. But then one of the nights I woke up in the middle of the night and I was completely drenched, as if I had just like exited a swimming pool with my clothes on. Like I was completely soaked.
It was crazy.
I had to remove all my clothes and put on dry fit clothes. And I could have wrung out my shirt. Like it was so wet.
It was pretty gross.
Thanks, Kyle.
It was crazy because it was like you did look like you just hopped out of a pool basically.
Yeah.
But it was like,
it was sweat.
Yeah, it was sweat. So it was
like
just
the
like,
bed was
holy crap. Yeah, it was crazy.
And I had to like put towels on the bed, and it happened multiple nights. Like one night was really, really bad.
One night was bad. Another night you were like kind of sweaty.
And then I would wear dry fit clothes to bed because I was like concerned about.
But so the important part about the story that you're not including is when you texted your doctor, you were like, "Hey, my knees are swelling, but like nothing happened. I
Right.
don't think it's anything like traumatic, but it's weird." And then like a couple days later, so like I think you first texted him on Wednesday,
Yeah.
and then on like Friday, you're like, "Oh, and by the way, I've had some weird night sweating fever symptom things." And then that's when they're like, "Oh shit, like go to the emergency room like immediately, like you could have a knee infection."
Yeah.
And then Val was super freaked out, which understandably so. So we rushed over to urgent care. And,
We were there like all morning.
yeah, and you got everything tested. And yeah, the doctor was basically like, "Yeah, like you don't." It was actually pretty funny because you wanted an answer so badly
Yeah.
about what was going on because it was super weird. Like, and that was like the common theme was like, it was weird because we didn't know what was going on. And
no
even
one
when we
really
were-
knew. Like
Yeah.
everyone was just speculating. Like the doctors that I talked to were like, "Oh, it's probably this." So we go to urgent care and I get some blood work done and my white blood cell count is like super low.
No, it wasn't super low.
Yeah, it was.
It wasn't super low.
It was low.
It was lower than normal. This
Wait,
is
wait.
where Val gets dramatic, okay, guys? She was talking about how I'm playing video games to all hours of the morning. The doctor said her blood cell count was a little low.
The white blood cell count was a
little low, not super low.
Okay, well I think
She's dramatic.
The normal range is like
Okay, regardless,
Mine
it
was
was
like
kind of
3.
low. It was a little. Oh my god.
It was.
I don't think it was.
It was a 3.
Okay, whatever.
I have the paperwork.
Okay, but you got blood tests, you got COVID tests, everything came back normal. The only thing that came back was that your white blood cell count was a little low, and the guy was like, "Yeah, I mean, you just have like a viral sort of infection or something."
And I got so mad.
Yeah, you like just like kept asking him like like the guy felt bad. The guy was like a runner too.
Yeah.
And you were being a little bit of a bitch. No, not really. But Val really wanted an answer.
He was like, "Well, what can I do?" Like,
Yeah, Val was just like kept asking like, "What can I do?" And like he would be like, "Well, you could see like a PT."
He was because I told him like all the stuff because I was doing all the stuff to try to get the inflammation to go away.
Yeah.
Like I was like compressing and ice and elevation and I was trying to stay off of it and I was doing like, all the stuff that I could think of to try and taking anti-inflammatories, like everything.
Yeah.
And I wanted an answer and he basically was like, "Well, you're doing everything you can do. You just need."
Well, the other thing that I think like didn't help either, I don't know if you remember this, was he said like it's possible you could have like a lower quad strain.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, as soon as he said that, I was like,
I don't
think she would have a double
quad strain.
Quad strain on both sides. Not to say that's not possible, but I think he was just trying to give you something.
Yeah.
Because you were like kind of hammering him.
Yeah.
But I felt kind of bad for the guy.
But he was right. At the end of the day, he was right. I just needed to be patient and keep doing all this stuff. But yeah, I took a week completely off of running. No cross training.
Well, it was pretty much 2 weeks because...
Well, but then the second week I started walking.
Yeah. You were walking.
I averaged like 20 miles that week. So I was running like 2 miles a day.
Yeah, but a lot of it was walking.
Yeah.
Anyways, regardless, it was a super bizarre incident for you where you weren't hurt.
Yep.
I
hadn't done anything
You
wrong.
weren't really sick. Like, not
bad.
really. Like, yes, you did have some like weird fever symptoms, but it wasn't, you for the most part weren't sick. It was like only when you were sleeping, and only a couple nights, you had these like weird night sweat things. It was just super weird. And every time I tell someone, because I've told other people about it, they're like, "What the fuck?" And it was super bizarre. And it was,
and it sucked. I mean,
the infection thing made sense. We were talking when we were going to urgent care. I was like, "Oh, that makes sense." And like in my head, I was like, "Well, oh, if it's like a knee infection, like they can just give you some like antibiotics or
Yeah.
whatever. I think that's what we both thought.
It's so good that it isn't.
Yeah,
It
because
wasn't
then we
that.
figured out like, oh, if it's a like an actual knee infection, it could like be like they'd have to do surgery again
Yep.
and like clean up your knee and it'd be
Yep.
like way worse.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it was best case
So
scenario.
it was best case scenario, but it was weird.
The thing that was the most frustrating about it is that I did nothing wrong. Nothing. Like, it's not like I was overtraining. It's not like I, did something stupid. It was just, I got sick, I guess, air quotes, because it was like very minor.
It was very odd.
And a side effect of the sickness was that my knees and ankles got super swollen.
Yeah.
And it's so weird because then I have talked to like a couple. So I talked to 3 healthcare providers during the knee thing. My primary care provider, a surgeon at the Stedman Clinic, and the nurse at the urgent care.
Yeah.
So, and all 3 of them were like, oh yeah, it totally is just like a viral infection. This is like a side effect of certain viral infections.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I've literally never heard of this. And then my cousin, who's a doctor, my mom told her about it and she was like, oh yeah, that's a side effect of certain viral infections.
Yeah.
And then I talked to a PT and he was like, oh yeah, I've heard of this before. This is a side effect of viral infections.
Yeah, it's still weird though. Like I have some old man friends at the rec. Like
Yeah.
And I was telling them the other night about it and they're all awesome. These guys are all awesome. They're just older than me. But I hope I'm as fit as they are when I'm that age. But anyways, so I like talk to him and one of them's a doctor. And I was telling him, he's like, oh yeah. And I was like, but everyone else is like, what the fuck?
I know. Yeah.
Like no one's heard of it, but then you talk to someone who's like in the medical field, they're like, yeah, it's possible. That's possible.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, well, I guess that's good. But it was super bizarre. It was super bizarre.
And I think if it ever happens again, at least I know. Because I think that while obviously running was out of the question and stationary biking was out of the question, the one type of activity that I might have been able to do as far as cross training goes is I probably could have lap swam.
Yeah, I think, but at the time it was just so weird. Like,
I know, but
we
I'm
just
saying,
didn't know what was going
if it
on.
happens again,
Yeah.
because luckily it was happening at a time where really nothing that important was going on.
Yeah.
Like, yes, it does suck that I got this weird thing happen to me, 4 weeks before US Cross, and I had to take a forced 2-week break.
Yeah.
And I only started training 2 weeks before US Cross. Yeah, that really sucks. But at least it's just US Cross.
Yeah.
Like if this ever happens again before a more important meet, like pre or like US champs or a Diamond League final or a world champs or something, I think that moving forward, it would be like, okay, yeah, cross training would definitely be something that I would want to be hammering. But the only thing I would have realistically been able to do is lap swim. Because I don't even know if I could aqua jog.
And that shit sucks.
Yeah, but...
So not the worst thing that you didn't do it, because lap swimming is the worst type of cross training. Anyone who wants to debate me, get in the comments, because you're wrong.
It's true. Lap swimming is the worst.
That's torture.
But, I mean...
Especially when you're having to do it.
Well, yeah.
Not by choice.
Yes.
It's the fucking worst.
And I'm really bad at lap swimming.
I'm an okay swimmer, and I still hate it.
I'm a horrible swimmer. And I hate it when I have to do it. But that's like the only thing that I could do. But... there were some positives that came out of this whole like knee thing. I started using the sauna a lot right after the knee swelling went down, as during that second week when I started to kind of build back into things. I sat in the sauna a bunch and that habit has stuck. Like I've been able to continue to do that where now I'm sitting in the sauna for like 2 hours to 90 minutes a week. And during that time, I really started hammering the PT as well. Where before this, I was maybe doing PT like twice a week. Now I do PT like 3 or 4 times a week. And so that's really good. And so kind of this like injury, well, not even an injury, I guess the sickness that put things on hold that forced me to reset also helped me kind of reset some of my priorities with what I was doing and what I was spending my time on. But anyways, it's really sad that I can't do US Cross, but that's okay. I'm going to do indoors this year.
Yep.
Race the 3K during indoor track. And so...
maybe a mile.
I would love to race the CU mile. I think that would be really fun. It's like 2 weeks before a Boston race that I want to do.
Yep.
And so I think it would make a lot of sense to run the mile at CU as kind of a rust buster and then go to Boston 2 weeks later to race a 3K.
Yep.
And then hopefully, fingers crossed, I can get into Milrose and race a 3K there. I think that would be really fun.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, if you've never been to Melrose, Melrose is sick.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, it is a bummer because you were really excited to do that. And it is unique in the sense that like cross only comes up
I know.
every so often, but it's just bad timing. I think the bright side of it for you is that like at least you have the luxury of it. Like, because if it was 2 weeks before USA's for the steeple,
I'd be toasted.
well, you wouldn't. You just have to do it, right? And you could still, I still think you probably could have done well at US Cross because you were like before Val got hurt. Val has this thing where she'll come and start talking to me. She's like, I'm feeling good. Like when she gets fit, she gets this like,
I get cocky.
yeah, she gets this like weird
I get a little
confidence.
cocky.
And we haven't seen that in a little while.
Yeah.
We haven't seen that confidence in a little while, so it was cool. It was exciting. I was excited for you. But it's basically just because you're training good. And the good thing is you're not hurt. You're completely back into normal. Everything's back to being exactly the same. And I think you're going to crush an indoor season. But yeah, it's just shitty timing. But the bright side of it is that you're not forced to race. Like, because if it was a different circumstance, like if it was USA's for outdoors in cross, you'd have no choice. Or, I mean, not no choice, but you would do it because you'd have to, right?
Yeah.
Like there's nothing else that you're necessarily be training for that year or whatever.
Right. But
But this isn't like an A race. This was kind of like a fun thing. But
because I was excited. But
yeah, and I think you had had a shot at making the team.
I think I could have done really well, especially with that cockiness I was feeling and with some of the workouts that were on the schedule that I think I could have crushed. I think it could have been really cool, but
Yeah.
that's okay. There's
Shit
more
happens.
races.
Shit happens.
Right.
2026 is going to be sweet.
It's going to be my year, baby.
Sweet.
Okay, we've been potting for a while now. What would you like to talk about next? Because I feel like we're done with.
What do we have on the dock here? Okay. Yeah, indoor season in general. Okay. I did want to talk about something because we've talked about it on this pod before a couple of times. It's not been consistent. We haven't been the most consistent, but Val and I are fucking big F1 fans. We love F1. We watch it every week for the most part, unless we're like busy and whatever, but we'll always watch it. And so there's one race left in the F1 season, but before the last two races occurred, it looked like McLaren had to really fuck things up. So like Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri, we've talked about them before. I'm not the biggest Lando fan. Oscar Piastri's pretty cool, but Max Verstappen is potentially on his way to being the GOAT. Anyways, it was them three in the title fight, but Lando had a commanding lead going into the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Max ends up winning the Las Vegas Grand Prix, and Lando and Oscar do well enough. And like Lando had a big lead. So it was like they weren't losing like detrimental points to Max. Well, both McLarens get DQ'd after the race because their plank, basically all these F1 cars have like wood planks, and the FIA, which is like the governing body of Formula One, they measure how much wear is on your plank because they're trying to measure the ride height of your car, because the regulations say your car has to be a certain height, so your plank should only have a certain amount of wear. Well, their planks were too worn, so they both got DQ'd. So again, McLaren's already won the Constructors' World Championship, but everyone knows that like everyone really just cares about the Drivers' Championship. So all of a sudden, fucking like Max is like gets a huge bump back. Like McLaren basically has a generational fuck up. Both cars are DQ'd, putting now like Max back in range a little bit more going into last weekend's race. Qatar. And then they compound the damage. So if Vegas wasn't bad enough, Qatar, things got even tighter. So Verstappen wins again. But Piastri, the interesting thing was Piastri started on pole. So like, again, McLaren just had to like maintain their lead and also like reduce the amount of points that Max got. Well, there's an early safety car. So there was an incident. 2 cars collided. And so there was a safety car. And everyone pits. So like at this race in Qatar, this like track like eats tires. So it's like 25 laps for any set of tires basically. So on lap 7, there's an incident. There's a safety car. Everyone pits for new tires because if they pit, then they only have to pit one more time for tires, and it makes your tire strategy easier. Also, like if anyone that listens to us, if you watch F1, pitting under a safety car takes less time out because you're already moving more slowly, like in the race, because you have to reduce your speed. So it's like a cheaper pit stop, essentially. Literally, the whole field pits except for McLaren. Except for the guys trying to win the fucking constructors title with one of their fucking drivers. So, sure enough, this generational bottle by McLaren to not pit either of their drivers. They could have pitted one. They didn't pit either. Max goes and wins because he got a cheaper pit stop, and so he beats Oscar. And so now, going into the last race, Max is only 12 points behind Lando. So it's Lando's in first with like 408 points. Max has like 396. And then Oscar, it would be really hard for Oscar to win. I mean, in my opinion, everyone's saying it's a 3-person battle. I don't know. I think it's more between Lando. Realistically, it's more between Lando and Max. But like if McLaren is taking a page out of Ferrari's strategy. Why am I saying that?
Because Ferrari has some of the worst strategy we've ever seen.
They are terrible.
Oh my gosh. We saw this AI video of Charles Leclerc. It was AI, so it wasn't real, but Charles Leclerc's voice was like, Ferrari needs to stop eating pasta and start focusing on pit stops. But it's like, it's a meme. It's basically a meme.
It's a huge meme in like Formula One, like how bad Ferrari is. But everyone's saying that McLaren stole Ferrari's strategist for the last couple of races.
They need to create a new meme. You know the meme of the Ferrari pit wall and they're all clowns?
Yeah.
They need to make a
Mall McLaren.
papaya.
Yeah.
Papaya clowns.
I think Max is going to win, though.
I hope so.
It would be sick. I think if he wins, he's the GOAT.
I agree. Yeah.
In that, so like, again, we haven't talked about this at length, but Max is not in the best car this year.
Yeah.
McLaren's car has been the best all year. Like, you can say there's a few weekends where McLaren and Red Bull were close, but like, by and large, McLaren's dominated.
If you win the constructors,
yeah,
generally speaking, it's
you have the best car.
I mean, yeah.
It would be a generational fuck up. Generational fuck up for McLaren not to get to not have at least Lando win.
I don't know.
But the thing is there couldn't be a worse person for them to have in second.
I know, Mad
Couldn't be a worse person to be in second. If you're a Lando fan, you would not be sleeping easy.
No. And
holy shit.
Crazy things happen in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, yeah.
So if there's any course...
Abu Dhabi.
Oh, I'm sorry. In Abu Dhabi, if there's any place to have a crazy upset, it would be Abu Dhabi.
Max done it there before.
I know.
That guy handles that high pressure shit
so well.
So fucking well. Lando does not.
He's one lap Lando. We've seen it all the time. The amount of times that he's lost it on the first lap.
Yeah, to Max. Yeah.
It happens way too often.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Besides 2021, when I wanted Max to beat Lewis, which happened, which was maybe the greatest 60 seconds, the last final
Even
lap.
if it was maybe fraudulent.
Maybe.
Maybe fraudulent.
Per chance, per maybe.
It was still the greatest race of all time.
Yeah, that was like yeah, we were lucky that if we were Lewis Hamilton fans, it would not have been. But
Yeah, we would have
because
been
we
on
were Max
suicide watch.
fans. It was maybe the sickest sporting event I've ever watched at that moment. But yeah, anyways, moral of the story, Max Verstappen kind of came out of nowhere. Pressure, like, guy is just handles pressure unbelievably well. He's so fucking good. I think, again, might be a little bit of like current, viewership bias, but I think he might be the greatest driver ever. I think if he wins, he's the greatest driver ever.
You're entitled to that opinion.
Anyways.
A lot of Lewis fans are going to be crying.
Well, no, I mean, no, he doesn't have the technical number of championships, but like winning in this way would be like,
yeah, winning in this way is
crazy.
pretty sick.
So anyways, yeah, it's pretty exciting. So if you're not an F1 fan, it's a good time to become an F1 fan in the next week. The next race is in, what is it, 8 days, 9 days.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're Max fans. People might say we're bandwagon. Not true. We started watching F1 when Lewis was slanging wiener against everyone.
And it was very frustrating to
Yeah,
watch.
it was horrible to watch. F1 during Lewis Hamilton dominance
the Mercedes dominance.
awful.
It was
a
awful.
rocket ship every weekend.
I know, it was so annoying.
Max is the only one that can win. That's why we're fans. Okay, that's just the truth.
It's true.
And then he went on a generational run. Has it been nice to be a fan the last couple of years, Max? Yes, it has. We're hoping for that to keep going.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's just a fucking dog.
It's true.
I love Max. I honestly so fired up. I'm just getting fired up thinking about it. I just want him to beat Lando. I also think Lando's kind of a pussy, so.
Yeah, he definitely has like a little party boy vibe.
I just don't get how people are fans of him. He just comes off like a little bit of a douche.
I agree.
Don't get me wrong. Incredible driver. Way better than yes. Would I be more of a pussy in that car? Yes. When I drive my car too fast, it's fucking scary. I can't even imagine how fucking terrifying it is to drive these cars. I just kind of think Lando's a pussy, though. I can't explain it. That's how I feel about that guy. I just think he's kind of a bitch. And don't you agree? You totally agree.
Yeah, he's not really my cup of tea.
Yeah, like in Drive to Survive, this guy, he'll like talk about Max. Like I think Max just like owns like 40% of the real estate in Lando's brain.
Oh yeah, 100%. The way he talks about Max is like he reveres him. It's just like, dude, come on. If you actually want to win titles, you have to think you're better than him.
Yeah, I agree. Well, and that's why I thought Oscar was going to win, because Oscar was kind of more like Max. Like it seemed like he had the mentality. And then he's just like fucked up. I mean, last weekend he drove really good and then just got fucked by McLaren. He should have won. Oscar should have won last week.
Yeah, but he's still less experienced, and at the end of the day, Lando is an experienced driver.
Yeah.
And that does pay off. So
yeah. Anyways, so don't hate me. The only person I actually know, like 2 people that are Lando fans. One of them's Cole. So Cole, I don't know, you probably don't listen to this, but if you do, sorry. I don't like Lando. I hope Max wins. That would be funny. I should shoot Cole a DM if Max wins on Instagram and be like, tough day.
Oh my goodness. Kyle just likes to stir the pot. He lives for conflict.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
I really want Max to win, though. Anyways, so that's the update on F1. Sorry we don't talk about it enough. Most people probably don't even give a fuck, but
I think most of the people that listen to this pod,
they already turned it off at this point.
Oh no. Hopefully there's still some people who have tuned in, because we are getting to the last chapter where we talk about conspiracy theories.
I have one.
Let's hear it.
It's not really a conspiracy theory. It's just something I don't fucking believe.
Okay, let's hear it.
So, you know the thing where it says like, oh, if you have a cat, which we have 2, one of them's right there. It's Rocket. If you have a cat and it looks at you and it slowly blinks its eyes, it's saying it loves you. Bullshit.
What do you think?
How do you guys fucking know?
What do you think it means?
Nothing. I think it means nothing.
You think it means nothing?
How would you know that it's like, we love you because we're slowly wrinkling ours? How do we know they're not just tired?
I guess they could just be tired.
How do you, like, what the fuck? That makes no sense in my brain. I see him do it all the time, and I'm like, this little rat isn't saying he loves me. He wants to go to sleep.
So you think it's a conspiracy?
I mean, it's kind of a good. I just want to. I would love for someone that's way smarter than me to explain how they concluded that means that your cat is telling you that they love you, and it's not some crazy cat person that just wants to believe that shit.
That's me.
Yeah, that's it. Val told me about this years ago, and I was like, "What? There's no way." But every time I look at our cats and I see them do this shit, I'm like, they're not saying that. There's no way.
Dang.
Yeah. So, anyways, I thought about that before the podcast. I've just never actually said it. I was like, that's actually kind of a funny conspiracy-esque theory.
Yeah, that is good.
A conspiracy theory adjacent, but yeah, I don't think cats really love humans that much. I think they love a lot of the things that humans give them, like food, warmth, snuggles. Like a good example is like our cats. Like Val's convinced that our cats love her, and I'm sure they love her. They definitely love her more than they love me. You can tell Rocket is sitting way closer to Val if you're watching the video. But for example, if we have a space heater on, so like most of the day, any time of the day, they're in Val's lap. One of them is in Val's lap at all time. But if you miraculously turn on a space heater, they vanish and they go next to the space heater. So what do they love more? Heat or you?
That's so mean. Why are you bursting my bubble?
I'm not bursting your bubble. Val, I've talked about this with Val. She's trying to make me look like a dick. Which maybe is a little bit true, but I don't know. I'm just a pessimist when it comes to cats because I think they use their cuteness against us.
I'm sure they do. They're very conniving, but I still love them.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear my conspiracy theory?
Yeah, go ahead. Was that a good conspiracy theory though?
Yeah, it was really good. I liked it.
Okay.
That was good.
Sick.
Okay, mine is about ancient civilizations.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
See, you know how in school we're always taught that Mesopotamia was like the first civilization?
Okay.
You know?
Yes, I know that.
Where they're like, oh, they used like architecture and they like, you know, cultivated animals and like plants and things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's these ancient structures in Turkey called Göbekli Tepe. I don't think I'm pronouncing it right, but it's older and it's like these crazy megalithic sculptures that were like deliberately buried. And so there's a lot of people who think that human civilization was a lot older than what we think it is. That like there were civilizations older than Mesopotamia, but Mesopotamia is the only one that we have
know about.
Yeah, but that there's like older ones.
All right.
And I think that that's true.
Okay, is there anything like more to it besides that we think there was like, is there any other signs that would indicate that that's true or possible?
Well, because those structures in Turkey are like way older than Mesopotamia.
Okay, but I'm saying, is there anything else besides those structures? Like anything else that would like say like, oh yeah, this also would make sense that there's older civilizations.
They found like, okay, there's this show on Netflix called Ancient Apocalypse.
Oh, Jesus.
And it's really cool.
When do you watch this stuff? Where hell am I?
I do it when I don't do it. I watch it when I'm on the treadmill.
Okay.
I watch like all these weird things. But anyways, it's a really cool show and they talk about all these like super ancient civilizations.
Al is on the treadmill just either watching some like conspiracy theory show and also slowly watching the miles click away without anything covering it up.
One eye is staring at No, I don't look at the miles. I look at the minutes usually. So I watch the minutes click by, the seconds tick by with one eyeball, and then the other eyeball is watching what the fuck? Ancient civilization stuff.
Okay.
So
Hell
anyways,
yeah.
yeah. Ancient Civilization. That show is so sick. You should watch it. It's so good. I was addicted.
But is it like, is the show like super fucking corny? Like, does it feel like the people that are presenting this stuff almost don't think it's true? You know, like sometimes when you watch those like stupid alien shows, it's like these people don't even believe this bullshit.
No. This is like they talk to all kinds of people. Okay, Joe Rogan is in the TV show.
Oh god.
And so is Keanu Reeves at one point.
I mean, sign me up if John Wick's there. Me too.
Exactly. But no. The presenter talks to like a bunch of archaeologists from all over the world.
And they agree? The archaeologists?
There's a lot of archaeologists who are like, we don't fully understand this, and there are artifacts here that are older than what we previously thought the structure was. And so, like, the archaeologists are willing to have the discussion that maybe stuff is like older than we originally thought. And so that's kind of cool. But it's still kind of difficult to change the attitudes of mainstream archaeologists. But I mean, for the longest time, people thought that the universe revolved around the Earth. And you would have been called crazy if you said that it was heliocentric. So sometimes people don't know things.
Yeah, people don't know things. Like if a cat that's
Actually knows
closing
them.
its eyes loves you.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes, see, that'd be a better explanation. To get my point, it's like, we just don't know.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's actually like a scientific thing or just like a TikTok meme thing.
What, the cat blanket?
Yeah, the cat, like slow blink.
It very well could be a TikTok thing.
Yeah.
But I hope it's real because they blink at me like that all the time.
Yeah, because they're always tired. They sleep like 21 hours a day.
It's true. The little rats.
Well, shit.
That was good.
Podcast coming to a close. Yeah, I don't know. We've been having a good time doing the podcast. We haven't definitely not stuck exactly to
The week.
a podcast episode every week. Like we just posted our episode with Taylor a couple days ago, and then I think we're going to try to post this one before US Cross. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of tough making all this stuff.
It's really fun and easy to actually sit down and film because once we do it, it's like
Yeah, we love
effortless.
actually making the podcast.
It's all the other bullshit that is tough. Like making the clips is really hard. Like the descriptions, the chapters.
Yeah.
Like that stuff kind of sucks. So I definitely see why like all these people who have more money than us just hire people to deal with that bullshit.
Well, they also have a lot more listeners.
If you're watching on YouTube,
Shoot me in the face. Shoot me in the... I'm leaving the podcast. That was terrible. Holy fuck.
okay, sorry.
Find a new co-host. I'm kidding.
Okay,
No. I'm kidding. That was a joke. This is a unserious podcast. We talk about a bunch of bullshit that we shouldn't. But yeah, go follow us.
Yeah.
Give us a comment or leave us give us a comment. I'm a dumbass. Leave us a comment. Follow us on Spotify. Leave us a comment. Leave us a rating. Subscribe on YouTube. We need more subscribers on YouTube. Most everyone just watches on Spotify, which Spotify's great. That's Spotify Rap just came out.
Hopefully we're in your top podcast list.
Probably not.
But maybe for next year.
Realistically. We're on the come up, baby. All right, we're just rambling. Yeah, so we haven't done a good job sticking to the weekly podcast. We've just felt like we're just trying to like fit it in where we can get it in with like guests or just doing podcasts like this, just Val and I. But we have some other guests in the works, which we're excited about. So more guest podcasts coming soon. And yeah, anything else, Miss Valerie Constein?
No, thank you so much for listening, guys. You are making this possible for us. We're so excited to have people tuning in and we're just having so much fun. So thanks for joining us.
Yeah, let us know what you think about anything we talked about. Let me know if you think my takes on Lando are bad.
Let me know what you think about Ancient Civilizations on Netflix.
Do cats blinking slowly at you mean anything?
Yeah, let us know.
Definitely doesn't. No, I'm just kidding. All right, guys. We love you. We appreciate you. And we'll see you soon.
Peace.
Peace.